Good evening, I'm Rondell Joseph. Tonight on RTA 25 News at 10, Dr. Willie Wilson travels the CTA today. What did he have to say on his way downtown? We'll have the details. Plus, 3 knife attacks on the CTA over the weekend. What does the Chicago police say about details for the public on cracking down crime? Also, another change for CBS 2 started today. Following that, the latest service changes and your travel times. It's all tonight on the RTA 25 News at 10.
This is RTA 25 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Rondell Joseph. Welcome to RTA 25 News at 10. Topic tonight's newscast, mayoral challenger Dr. Willie Wilson vowing that if he is elected mayor, he would bring back CTA conductors and bring back CTA's own police unit, as well as supplementing efforts of hiring back retired Chicago police officers to help crack down on violent crime. Earlier today, Dr. Wilson traveled on the Red Line from 95th and State to downtown and announced and embraced the plan championed by Eric Dixon of Transit Workers Union Local 308.
I do, however, believe that it should be transport police and armed police on the train.
Wilson states that he has no idea how much money it would cost to reestablish the CTA police unit as well as hiring conductors. RTA 25 is aware that the CTA did eliminate conductors from the trains back in February of 2000 under the administration of former CTA President Frank Kruse. Meanwhile, Wilson is very outspoken in regards to commuter safety on the CTA and also states with the recent crime wave on CTA property, it's causing people not to take public transit. RTA 25 will continue to follow this story in the foreseeable future. And speaking of violent crimes, new at 10 tonight on 25, 3 knife attacks within 24 hours on CTA property occurred over the weekend. CBS 2 was at a press conference earlier today with Chicago Police Superintendent David Brown, who says that the CTA is one of its 3 top challenges at this moment and says that they are going to work directly with unarmed security guards all over the transit system.
That we'll continue to add resources until we see this kind of safety that the City of Chicago deserves.
The first attack occurred at the Cicero Green Line stop Saturday night around 9:30 when a man was stabbed in the back of the head and pushed onto the tracks. Police say that the man was standing along the platform before the incidents took place. He also sustained a broken elbow but is expected to be okay. Just an hour and 7 minutes after the first stabbing, another one occurred on a Blue Line train in the Wicker Park neighborhood that left a 39-year-old with stab wounds to his arm and face. Hours later, around 7:30 Sunday morning, another stabbing occurred on the Orange Line, leaving 3 people attacked with 1 person injured in the arm. Chicago police aren't saying that the stabbing incidents are related to each other, but they say that they are stepping up their safety efforts on public transit. That includes working with the 200 unarmed security guards that patrol the system 24/7. However, we've learned from local news sources that they have not intervened or prevented any incidents, but they are coordinating efforts.
Separate and apart when security officers are unarmed, maybe offenders don't take them as seriously as they would, but if we work together, I think it could be impactful.
Sources also ask Brown why images of the people caught in the criminal act have not been released and shared with the public. He answered that those images should be released. Coming up when RTA 25 News at 10 continues, 1 person is in custody after a carjacking prompted a lockdown at Northwestern Hospital Medical Building this afternoon. Also, a plea is reached in a DUI case from 2020, and one of ABC7's top weekend anchors is stepping away from their post. We'll have that and other stories and briefly tonight when the News at 10 returns.
RTA 25 News at 10 continues.
Welcome back, everyone. Another busy Monday evening here in the RTA 25 newsroom. We have your daily recap, so here's a look at some of the stories that are in RTA 25's briefly tonight. A serious crash involving a motorcycle and a dump truck left one person dead. Rosemont police said it happened at Mannheim and Tui just before 4 o'clock this afternoon. Police say that the 30-year-old motorcyclist was transported to Lutheran General Hospital where he died. His name has not yet been released. Police are investigating the incident. A Chicago man was sentenced to 16 years in the Illinois Department of Corrections for driving drunk and fatally striking a bicyclist before fleeing the scene in Lombard in November 2020. 26-year-old Norris Watt was driving more than 80 miles per hour when he struck 41-year-old Troy Young on his bike. Young died at the scene. Watt today pleaded guilty on 1 count of aggravated DUI causing death and 1 count of failure to report an accident involving death. One person is in custody after a carjacking. Chicago police said it all started just before 1 o'clock this afternoon in the West Rogers Park neighborhood. The male suspect eventually led police on a pursuit all the way downtown. The suspect abandoned the car at DuSable Lakeshore Drive and Chicago Avenue and fled on foot. He later ran to Norton Medical Research Building, which is at the Northwestern campus, which prompted a lockdown at Northwestern's University Medical Building. Police eventually found the suspect and arrested him. No injuries were reported. Area 3 detectives are investigating, and tonight charges are currently pending. Over the weekend, a 17-year-old was arrested after a string of armed robberies on the CTA in the South Loop. Officials say that the teen was taken into custody by the Bureau of Counterterrorism members. The robbery stemmed from October of last year to recently in February. The first 2 on October 3rd of last year, one at Cermak and State, which involved a 33-year-old victim. The second one at Roosevelt and State, which also involved another male victim. The third one at 11th and State on February 22nd when a 20-year-old man was robbed. As a result, the teen faces 3 felony counts. Briefly Tonight continues right now. Longtime ABC 7 weekend morning anchor Stacey Baca has announced that she will be stepping away from her post as the weekend morning anchor. She stated that she wanted to spend more time with her husband and relatives. The 53-year-old Baca joined ABC 7 in June of 2002 and was later an anchor for the ABC 7 News Sunday morning and helped launch the ABC 7 News Saturday morning newscast in 2004. She co-anchored alongside Kevin Roy until 2010, later with Ben Bradley until 2016, and has since co-anchored with Mark Rivera the last 4 years. Stacey says she is looking forward for what's ahead. Her last day with ABC 7 is scheduled for June 26th. CBS 2's changes in the evening newscasts went into effect today. Brad Edwards started his role on the streaming platform CBS News Chicago, while Joe Donlon began his role on the CBS 2 evening newscasts. This is the 14th change since 2000 on CBS 2. Donlon, who comes from News Nation after a 1.5-year stint and 2 years prior at WGN from 2018 through 2020, is now the 5th male anchor on the CBS 2 evening news team. The predecessors besides Edwards included Rob Johnson, who joined in 2006 and was denied contract renewal in 2019, Antonio Mora, who joined in 2002 but later transferred to another CBS station in Miami in 2008, and David Curley, who joined in 1998 but left in 2002 after WBBM had planned to replace him with Antonio Mora. That is a look at the stories in Briefly Tonight. Stick around, the news at 10 will return. Finally at 10, a service change on the CTA Red Line for commuters. There will be a boarding change which will cause delays between the Clark and Division Red Line stop at Fullerton. Trains will board and exit on the 95th Street bound side of the platform at North and Clybourne. In addition to that, trains will operate on the same track, which will result in some minor delays. This is due to safety maintenance, which will last until 4 a.m. for the next few days. For more information, you can log on to transitchicago.com. That'll wrap up the RTA 25 News at 10 for this Monday night. I'm Rondell Joseph. The news will continue tomorrow morning at 4:30 a.m. Have a great night.